Who blacker this week? Tiger Woods or Kathy Griffin? Because both of y'all getting a nigga wake up call. This is hilarious. Kathy said, I thought we all hated Trump. This ain't funny. No, this is too far. How you find somebody from a job they're supposed to do like 6 months from now? Oh, they're like, if World War III don't come, if the apocalypse don't come, bitch, you still ain't got a job, okay? Oh my goodness, Kathy Griffin, they just, oh man. And here's the funny thing. Okay, so I watch TMZ Live every day because I could be in the know. I got to be in the know about what's going on, okay? And it's like the way that stories pick up steam, there's an art to that, you know? And figuring out like what's gonna be the next like big thing that everybody goes crazy over. I love that, right? So TMZ Live is responsible for even finding the image to begin with. It's not like this was published in Time, okay? In Time magazine or something. So TMZ finds the image of Kathy Griffin holding up this bloody head of Donald Trump. And he puts it on the screen and he's talking about it. And the angle was to show her laughing about, ha, 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 we're going to have to move to Mexico after this come out, you know. And in his opinion, Harvey was like, I think this is too far. I don't think it would be okay if it was. Of course, he had, you know, the Peanuts gallery. Like, what if it was Obama? He's like, that wouldn't make it okay. I don't feel like it's okay if it's Obama. I don't feel like it's okay if it's Trump. And so then they had this whole argument about Ted Nugent and, you know, he said Obama should be beheaded and Trump still visited with him and all this kind of stuff. You know, I don't know if it's because it's 2017 or what, but it's like you can ask somebody a direct question and they can answer you talking about something totally different. We ain't talking about Ted, okay? We're talking about Kathy Griffin. We're talking about Kathy Griffin and the head of Donald Trump. That's what we're talking about. Stay on topic. So at any rate, they went on about their day. I guess people who were watching TMZ then went on Twitter and that's how everything kind of picked up steam. But it's just so funny to me how TMZ throws the rock and hide their hand because the next day they were talking about this viral picture of Kathy Griffin as if Harvey Levin is not responsible for it being viral. You made it viral. Like, and then you're like, oh, we're so surprised this is viral. Like, you viralized it? All right, so, what's my other point I was going to make? I'm sorry, this is just so, tickle pink. Tickle pink. So, when I saw the original story of TMZ talking about it, this is before there's any backlash, anybody getting fired or whatever, I'm like, thinking to myself, is this going to cause backlash? The head of Donald Trump dipped in blood because Drew Barrymore has a show out called the Santa Clarita Diet. Santa Clarita is a suburb in Southern California. And so this show is basically about middle-class suburban housewives and families, I guess, that are zombies undercover and they out here eating people and throwing people in the blender. The promotion for it has been very gruesome. A few of my followers or viewers, I like to call y'all, like a few of my viewers have been sending me stuff because everybody's just so appalled by this whole Drew Barrymore thing, those of us who have a conscience or whatever. But there hasn't been a big outcry about it. It hasn't even gotten the publicity that they were looking for. People don't seem to care. So that to me made me feel like the population is desensitized. I honestly did not think that the Kathy Griffin thing was going to pick up steam. I didn't. I really didn't. Because I'm like, just the way the media has been biased, just the way there's so many people who just hate Donald Trump, just no matter what. So to see so many liberals be like, that's wrong. Oh, that's so wrong. I just find that even funnier because I don't believe in my heart, y'all. I'm sorry. I could be wrong. I don't believe in my heart that liberals really feel disturbed so much by the images because, I mean, it's just like if you look at the imagery of Madonna or any of these, you know, Madonna went on stage right after like every massive shooting with a gun in her hand. I mean, these people push the envelope to the point of being disrespectful all the time. and their core audience never says anything. Like, Katy Perry's last music video, homegirl had on some like ghetto bamboo earrings, some braids, and she was eating watermelon. Didn't nobody say nothing? So I'm just like, I don't believe this is a situation where the left or liberals actually really are offended. They're just so caught up in the herd mentality, and when the liberal media expressed they were against it, then the liberals are like, oh, that's what we're doing, we're on script, okay, we want to pretend as if we have a conscience, we want to pretend like we actually, you know, care about people and about the imagery that our kids are seeing and that kind of stuff. We care about that now. Like, that's the funny part. They don't really care though. Like, they're just following what's popular. You know, it's in vogue now to act like you got a conscience. That's what they're gonna do. And I said all that to say that's a credit to us. That's a credit to conservatives and libertarians and people who are like, have values, have conscience, you know? And we have been constantly pushing against and pushing against and pushing against the negativity that's coming from the left. And we've put them in a box now where they have to either side with what's right or just gone ahead and expose themselves for being plain crazy, you know? There's no more of the hiding and the dog whistling they call it, and the little things that they have been doing to incite violence and anger and hatred when they want to, and then try to play kumbaya after they started. You know, we have really kind of exposed them. The liberal media has been exposed, and so I think this is one of the first examples of them conceding to the new law of the land, which is to have some type of decency. Okay? I don't expect more from Kathy Griffin. And this is the same person who went on, she accepted, I believe it was like an Emmy Award or something, and she made some horrible joke about Jesus, and all of the media played it over and over again. And I mean, she didn't even have a real backlash. They perpetuated, they kept showing a clip of it like they wanted people to be mad just so they have something to talk about. But that's the other funny part about this. It's like, y'all watch these people be disrespectful. So when she was talking about Jesus, that was okay for her to disrespect people, their religious beliefs. And it's like, you support people who don't have standards or character. You support people who are willing to do anything. And then you're surprised when they take it too far. You have never given Kathy Griffin the impression that you have a standard and that she could go too far. You have never made her feel like she has to have a start and an ending point, because so far, Kathy has only received positive attention for when she's done things that have been outrageous. Tucker Carlson, you know, is really funny, but he was talking about how unfunny Kathy Griffin ain't funny. Well, I actually like Kathy Griffin's brand of humor, because Kathy Griffin would go on The View and meet with Barbara Walters and those stuffy stuck-up people, and then come back and tell us what really happened behind the scenes, even if it was something that was embarrassing or not flattering, or that would get her kicked out of the room to ever be able to return again. She would make that sacrifice to be able to give her audience what they needed, and that is why her stand-up shows are what they are. That's why her following is so strong. Kathy Griffin has a little bit of Joan Rivers in her. You know, her and Wendy Williams remind me of each other a little bit when it comes to risk-taking. And all of that is valuable in entertainment. But we still have to have character. Still got to have standards, man. We can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to, you know, do anything, and then whatever sticks, whatever gets me money, whatever gets me popular, that's what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. But I'm so entertained right now. Like, so I just want y'all to know, like, of course I see everything that's going on. Like, I just think it's all, at this point, it's all funny. You know, these people are still being sore losers. They're keeping up this nonsense, you know, with this Comey and all this. Now Trump probably got the autocorrect on his cell phone and then typed out Kofefe, or I guess he probably was trying to order coffee and clown these people at the same damn time. Who knows, you know? And they're so petty, and they don't have nothing else to complain about. They don't have nothing else to talk about, so they're going in on that. A lot of people complaining about the budget cuts as well. I'm all for cutting public funding, public education, food stamps, and Section 8. Okay, I'm all for it because we have a country and a culture that is encouraging people to be satisfied with the bare minimum, and that is eroding the fiber of this, what makes this country great. We have to produce entrepreneurs, and people have to understand it, and this is what I want the liberals to and the young people to understand, that you have an end goal or a vision. Okay, this is what successful people do. They have a goal, they have they have a vision. Okay, they have a vision. They can see it. They can see this utopia or whatever it is they want at the end game to be. Then there's things that you have to do in order to make that happen, and whatever is not in line or conducive to making that happen has to go. If we continue to build a welfare system, then we won't have people coming out with the entrepreneurial spirit that we need them to have. You know, we won't develop the type of tenacity in this country that we need to have. We need to have people who are like, hey, I'm one paycheck, two paychecks away from poverty, so I need you job to make sure that you're following the law and making sure that this is a decent working condition for me. We don't need people to just give up and take themselves out of the employment market and then be filled in by scabs and foreigners and that kind of stuff, because then what happens, those people don't have as much invested. They don't care as much. You know, they're willing to do whatever they got to do and they be satisfied. And this is why the companies are behaving with such low integrity right now. Because of the desperation of the people working for them. Trump wants to scratch some of these companies wants to scratch their back so they can scratch our back. We cannot get to the back scratcher part of the process if he doesn't have anything to give them. And so guess what? It's got to get cut from somewhere. Unfortunately, a lot of times education is being cut. Not because we don't want all these kids to walk around here being educated, but education is a long-term investment. Okay, so we're pouring thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into each American child, and that's with the hopes that they will one day grow up to do something that's going to stimulate the economy and pay taxes. All right, and at the way everything is set up right now, it's not happening. Okay, the teenagers are supposed to go work at Domino's. They can't get a job at Domino's because the 35-year-olds are at the damn Domino's. And the 35-year-old can't get promoted to CEO, to president, hell, vice president, whatever. They can't get promoted to positions of power and leadership where they can make decisions because the 70-year-olds can't or won't retire. You know, there is a flow that has to happen here. And that's what economy is. That's what it's all about, is how do we keep money flowing around here? All right. We live in a commerce-based society. People got to earn money so they can go out and spend money. Okay. When you on welfare, you can afford to pay maybe for your most immediate needs, but you don't have disposable income to go out and buy stuff. So a lot of you guys who have these great ideas, you know, I want to create a new type of flashlight or something like that. Like, ain't nobody got no disposable money to come buy your new handy dandy damn flashlight. I got to get my flashlight from the 99-cent store because I'm being underpaid or I am unemployed. So I don't have extra money to come out here, LeVar Ball, and buy your $495 pair of damn shoes. That $495 is like $2,000 to me because of what this economy is. However, maybe if we can get the economy moving the right way, then maybe I'll have some extra money to go buy some silly ass $495 shoes if I wanted to. Okay, so I mean, think of it that way. I mean, Trump is not a bad guy. Trump is not trying to ruin the world, contrary to whoever wants to believe that. Okay, that's not what's going on. Just be logical here. Okay, Trump can't come out here and say, everybody, you know what? How about don't nobody go to work? Because work is hard. Nobody wants to go to work. Matter of fact, nobody wants to go to work. Nobody wants to be in rush hour traffic. So we're just going to pull a Brinks truck up to everybody's house. We're going to drop all of you off some money. Okay? How about you order how much money you need from the Federal Reserve? You know, I'm going to holler at them. They're going to mail you some money. You're going to be good. Right? Is that realistic? No, that's not realistic. We have a certain amount of money that we have to work with. And when we do go make money out of thin air, that exacerbates the problem. Okay, so somebody has to come in and say, we're going to stop printing up money out of thin air and we're going to work with what we have. Okay, so now working with what we have, that's called a budget. Okay, now I know because you have not failed through the cracks on one of these bridges yet, you don't see that as immediate, but it is. These roads and bridges and that kind of stuff need to get up to par. The airports and everything need to look like this is a first world country. That stuff is important. And guess what? Your tax dollars go to Great Britain and the Vatican. Not a single dollar of your taxes is going actually to the roads and the bridges around here. So we sitting here going, well, what's going on? We paying in the taxes. That tax, we're not spending the tax money. And that's a whole nother conversation, okay? We ain't getting the taxes. That's, and I don't feel like taking on the IRS. So it just is what it is, because that's just one enemy I don't want to make. Okay? They dead ass wrong. They dead wrong. Y'all dead wrong, IRS. You dead ass wrong. But you know what? I don't want that beef. Okay? So I'll just go ahead, fill out my little form and send you a little coin and let that be that. But with that being said, we have to work out of what we have, and we have less to work with than you all think that we do. So this is why it's like, why is he cutting this? Why is he cutting that? We already in debt. And so why continue to put money on a situation that's not getting any better? The school choice situation, they asked Bessie DeVos about charter schools that want to discriminate. We don't even get these schools this money. So what if the school discriminates and they don't want LGBT students, right? Well, she said the schools have to comply with their state law. So if the state law says that you can set up a private school that excludes LGBT students, then that's their law. What can you do? Now, mind you, as Republicans or as conservatives, you want smaller government. You don't want the government to make decisions for every little thing. Your state can make that decision. Okay? If you guys have a strong enough LGBT population where you have a big enough need for it, fine. On the flip side, though, it's fair for parents who are concerned about the way that the LGBT situation is being pushed down everybody's throats in the public school situation. Well, they should have the right to say, I'm going to send my child to a private school that is in line with my values, religious or otherwise. So then the lady who's interviewing Betsy says, did I call her Stacy before? Betsy? The lady interviewed Betsy said, well, what if they say they want to exclude black students then? She's like, I'm going to do whatever is in accordance with the state law. Now, we know that it is illegal to segregate schools intentionally, right? And it's not even an issue. There is no issue with private schools who don't want to have black students. There's no issue with that. See, but this is why I continue to bring up the LGBT issue, is because it's constantly being brought up in the media. It's constantly being brought up in situations where ain't nobody even talking about that. See, and it sounds like I'm talking about it a lot. No, they talking about it a lot. And so for as many times as you want to put out a false narrative, I just want to come out here and correct you. Parents have every right to say, we want a school that's going to teach this set of values. Parents have the right to say, I'm going to send my kid to a school that's all LGBT because I want them to feel comfortable. I don't want to have to worry about the bullying or whatever. This is okay. That's your choice. You should have that choice. It goes both ways. Okay. So, but anyway, to phrase that like, so we shouldn't have charter schools because some LGBT people might get left out. Is that what you're saying? The federal government shouldn't fund schools that are actually putting education first over profit. We shouldn't do that because somebody LGBT might get their goddamn feelings hurt. I don't want to hear that no more. Okay? Listen up, black people. Listen up. This is not my opinion. This is a damn fact. Okay? These inner city schools is jacked the hell up. They've been jacked up. You know they jacked up. Okay, the discrimination, the segregation is because of the housing discrimination. All they did redlining. So your child has to go to the school or the school district determined by where they live. So the school don't have to say you can't go here because you black. Now I went to school in Burbank, California, and I did not live there. I was able to go there because my father worked for the school district. Okay? And when he left that school district, I was a senior in high school, and they said the only reason we not putting her out is because she's a senior in high school. But my sister was in the 7th grade, and they put her out of the school district. She had to go to school by, where we live. So how is that okay? They didn't give a damn that this girl is 12 years old. She's been going to school with the same kids since she was 7 years old. They didn't care. They did not care about any of that. They didn't care that she had good grades. They didn't care that it was a predominantly white school and that this black kid was helping to diversify and shit. They didn't care. They did not care, okay? And we are expected to go to school in our neighborhood. Black people got some badass habits. Now, so we're doing things in our schools. Don't even get me started. We doing stuff in our schools that is unacceptable, and it's like a whole nother world going to a predominantly white school or a mixed race school as opposed to going to an all black school. You go to all black school, your shoe game got to be up, okay? I mean, it's if you're not willing to go out and spend $100 on tennis shoes for your kids, that's damn near child abuse. Like, although it's unreasonable, I mean, they just can't have no social life walking around in no Payless. But like from like 4th grade though, 8, 9 years old, where I wasn't worried about that kind of stuff. When I was in elementary, middle school, high school, it never mattered. Nobody never cared. Matter of fact, only time somebody would say something about my shoes, it would be like the couple black friends I had. We worry about that kind of stuff, and it's not important. Okay, so when you say, hey, you know what, I live in this neighborhood, I'm not scared of my people. Okay, I got me a decent job. I don't want to move out. I'm educated. I want to help and live in my community, and I feel like I can contribute to my community. I like my area. I want to go to the same cleaners. I want to go to the same grocery store. But in order to do that, I have to send my child to this public school, which is close and which is convenient. However, the kids at this school, their parents are not really invested in their education the way that they should be. Either because they don't want to, they don't know how, they can't, for whatever reason they are not. And the kids at the school priorities are jacked up. My child is sitting in a classroom that's being ran like a damn jail cell. The teachers are spending all day trying to discipline these children. Not because they're bad, because they're black. No, they bad because their parents are somewhere working too damn hard to come up with just enough, and they don't have the time to spend to them and to run up to the schoolhouse every damn 5 minutes. Y'all done broke up the family households. You won't let nobody sit at home and be a housewife, so the mama don't have time to come run up to the school, the way they used to, and whoop your ass in front of all the other classmates so you get your life together. Everybody got time for that no more. Now everybody got to go to work. Now the stay-at-home mamas in the community are not housewives. They're single mothers, and they're on welfare, or whatever the case it is. And just because you're on welfare doesn't mean you don't have any values. It should be a temporary situation till you do the next thing. But let's not act like we don't have people who just say, forget it. And, they don't want to be a part of the rat race. And it's not even about condemning them. That's a natural. It's a natural response if you either one don't know no better, or you constantly trying and you're getting negative reinforcement for doing positive things. It would be a whole lot easier to sit at home and get Section 8 and have $48 a month rent, $500 food stamps. Sell half of them so you could buy you some drink or something like that to get you through the month. I get it. But those decisions are being made out of the lack of choices and resources and that negative reinforcement in these horrible job environments and that kind of stuff. People are just giving up. So we have to pull out the safety net a little bit. We have to encourage people to contribute, and then we have to incentivize them. Now, I predicted that Donald Trump was going to cut education, and I predicted that he was also going to help HBCUs. Now, that's what he did. Oh, well, he ain't talked to us. He ain't give us no time to talk. He ain't write us no big check. You know what? Trump just got in office. Y'all gonna be kissing his ass before this whole thing is over with, okay? I will say, if you go to Bethune-Cookman, listen here. I'm all for the black college experience. So this is why I be trying not to go in. But all I'm going to say is, if you go to Bethune-Cookman, you can't boo nobody. You can't boo nobody coming to help your ass, okay? You already at a disadvantage because you at Bethune-Cookman. So it would behoove you when the rich white lady come up there and say what the hell is it that you want for you to pull out your bullet points. It would behoove your ass. And then if you want to see something real funny, their media advisor, I can tell she was a student or whatever. Oh my God, me and my friends, okay. You know, the college girl in me, the old college girl in me, it might be a little bit, a rivalry. I don't know what you call it, but we laughed at y'all Bethune-Cookman. Us Hampton girls, we got on the little chat. Y'all had that video called, this video said, Bessie DeVos is coming. Please remember to BCU classy. Oh my God, this girl had on these fake ass pearls with a shawl, and she was just really like trying to make a public service announcement to the students to tell them, you know, when Bessie comes here to the school, we're going to BCU classy. I guess that stands for Bethune-Cookman University classy. So like in our thread line, we kept spelling classy with a K, and we just had such a heart. And look, my friends they liberals, okay? They're liberals. It was still funny. It was hilarious. We laughed at y'all Bethune-Cookman. We laughed at you. How Bethune-Cookman gonna tell somebody? How Bethune-Cookman gonna boo somebody gonna come? We didn't want to come to your party. I don't want to go through a Bethune-Cookman homecoming. Not to be, shade, but no shade. So y'all cannot act like that when somebody want to come down there to the swamp and come help y'all. Okay? Do not be acting bougie. Okay? Don't be sitting here acting like you go to Hampton Howard Spelman. Shit, don't do it. At least Clark something. Don't do it now. But my predictions. We're going to see, remember Trump has that agenda for Black America. We're going to see Trump come out with those forgivable business loans. We're going to see the small business loans. We're going to see loans, housing, for housing, etc. We're going to see a lot of programs and stuff get funded in inner cities. I truly believe that Trump is going to do more for Black people before this 4 years is up. Not even going to take to the before this 4 years is up. Okay. I saw that Omarosa invited Farrakhan to the White House, and the headline was like Farrakhan's response. I've been looking at that headline for 2 weeks and haven't even gotten the mental strength to see what he said, because anything but when and where is unacceptable. Okay? And like Roland Martin was on Wendy Williams the other day talking about they doing a Black Town Hall with him and what's that girl name? The CNN contributor. A bunch of damn liberals, you know? And it's just like, I'm not interested in sitting here listening to y'all talk about the state of Black America, because you know what? We have had that conversation. He gonna tell Wendy we're not gonna have the same conversation over and over again. We're gonna talk about this and then next year. Roland Martin, we have already had the conversation. We know what our community needs. What's supposed to happen now is you're supposed to bullet point those things in the PowerPoint presentation and carry your happy ass to the White House. Now, if you go and say, Donald Trump, this is what we need, and he tell you, don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord should have split you, then you come back and you tell us what kind of asshole our president is. You understand what I'm saying? When Bessie DeVos come to your raggedy ass school in the swamp, please forgive me, y'all. Please, because I love my HBCUs. I do. Okay? But I would have went to community college before I went to Bethune-Cookman. When Bessie come visit your ass and she asks you what you want, you tell her what you want, and then when she don't deliver, then you boo her and you come out here and you talk crazy. This is just simple. This is how hard is that to understand? Obama ain't the president no more. When he was the president, you didn't ask him for shit. We had Black Town Hall meetings until he was inaugurated. The whole time he was president, we didn't have him. Now he gone, you want a Black Town Hall again? I ain't meet with you niggas about nothing. I know what the plan is. We need to strengthen Black families. That means a Black mama, a Black daddy, and Black little babies. We have to strengthen that. They have to see, our generations need that. Okay? There is a power that that's uplifting to the kids around us. Everybody gonna make different decisions. Hell, you might go to China, meet you a nice Chinese woman. Good for you. Hell, fine. But if you're asking the agenda makers or the people who are going to the seat at the table, if you ask them what we want, well, or what our objective is, though, the objectives is to strengthen healthy black families because that's what is best for our community. Lowering or getting rid of abortion in our community is what's important to make our community thrive and be healthy. Okay? Private schooling, especially some of y'all got some badass kids that you don't have no time for. Those are the main ones that need to go to private school. I would tell you one of the curses of being so smart is you get left behind. Okay? So a smart kid like myself, I always had excellent grades. Until when I got to high school, I was like, you mean I could ditch and get a B plus? I could show up every day, get an A, or I could ditch and get a B plus. I'm ditching and taking a B plus. But, that's just because I had I'm in an environment, in public schools, I'm in an environment where basically a B is like having an A to these people. Anyway, you're doing good. Where kids is going home happy to have a C. That's okay at their house. They can have a C at their house. You know what I'm saying? So the smart kids, because they're not a troublemaker, they don't get any attention. And when I went from being a straight A student to being satisfied with bringing home B's, an educator or somebody was supposed to say, you are intelligent enough to go to Harvard or Yale or whatever if you want to, so don't close those opportunities in order to go hang out with you. Nobody ever had no conversation with me like that. And I didn't realize how smart I was until now. I'm now realizing how much more advanced I was than my peers. At the time, I didn't realize it and nobody wanted me to because they was lazy and they didn't want to do the hard work. Sorry, y'all. So, the husband called and now my baby up, so I got to go. But just to finish my point, the intelligent kids get left behind in the school system. The bad kids are not encouraged to do better. They're just being babysat. And so kids do need smaller classrooms. They do need schools that are heavy on discipline. And so I'm all for private schools. I'm all for vouchers. I do think we're going to see him do some things that specifically help the black community as well as specifically helps inner cities. And specifically helps a lot of these other groups as well. But now is the time for people to be very clear as to what it is that they need from our president and focus on whether or not he's delivering on that. All the rest of this nonsense, I don't give a damn what he tweet. I don't care who he cuss out. I don't care if Melania don't want to hold his hand. I don't care about none of that. Is he doing for me what I need him to do? And so far, he is. Okay, so thank you, President Trump. And Memorial Day just passed, so, my condolences to everybody who has lost someone who was in the military. And, of course, I appreciate all of you who have served in the military. My grandfather was a chef, a Navy chef, but he passed away before I was born. So I just get all the legendary stories from my father. And, they all sound great and exaggerated, as all good old military stories should be. You know what I'm saying? Builds patriotism, Feel free, to put little extras on it for your kids when you tell those stories, because they're exciting, okay? But let my daddy tell it. My grandfather was the best cook on the biggest Navy ship in all the history of known to man, okay? Okay, that's the way it should be. But thank you guys, of course, for listening and everything. I kind of got thrown off track with my phone call, but I'll be back soon. All right, peace out.